Welcome everyone to Ovi's Backstop Podcast. I'm your host, yours truly, Ovi Muniz. Subscribe to our show and follow us on Facebook. Let me know how you feel about this show, any questions and anything else. I will happily to answer it and share it with everyone else. But this one is a not so scheduled like show, but I am here and getting ready and excited for the second half of the baseball season, and also looking forward to what's going on with the Boston Red Sox. What will they do here in the second half? And it's going to be a tough start looking into the schedule. We got that and more. But before we do, I love this picture right here. I really do. We got Aaron Judge and Altuve there. Listen, this is a thing called karma, right? Karma. You know, and for some people, they'd be like, yeah, what is karma and stuff like that, right? Listen, Aaron Judge back in 2018 played the music New York at Fenway Park. And that kind of like stirred things up, and it provided more motivation for the Boston Red Sox. And they went ahead and defeated the Yankees in the division series and moved all the way to become the World Series champions of that year. Now we look at the series with the Yankees and the Astros, and Aaron Judge hit a home run. And when he was going around third base, he was tightening up his jersey, right? The next day, Altuve hit a game-winning home run, something that the Yankees blew a large lead. And it's not the first time they blew a large lead, all right? And it is what it is. So this guy still doesn't understand what karma really means, and I don't think he will. And as far as the rest of the Yankees, they're going to be setting up with a 4-game series at Yankee Stadium versus the Boston Red Sox. Now, on the other hand, the Red Sox has had their numbers, right? They've won 2. They swept them 2 straight series. And now this is the 3rd series. And it's going to be 8 games within a week and a half that the Red Sox will play the Yankees. But more about that later as I will continue on. But I just want to, guys, think about it. Right? And as far as the rivalry is concerned, is it really a rivalry between the Red Sox and the Yankees this year? Or is everything a trial basis? It's a great question, right? But hey, let's look forward here. Let's dive in closely as we see the standings there. The Boston Red Sox are in first place, yet they didn't have a good outing in the last series versus the Angels, right? And also the it doesn't matter. We just didn't play right for the last week of baseball, right? And I think this is now the time that the Red Sox need to tune up. They got plenty of rest and focus on for the rest of the season, right? So they're in first place by the game and a half on top of the Tampa Bay Rays. The Toronto Blue Jays and the New York Yankees are both 8 games behind. And here you have it. Yet, I'm going to tell you right now, it is still a tight race. Yes, it's a big spread, but anything can happen because between the Red Sox, Rays, the Jays, and the Yankees, at any given point, this team, once they snap, they could have a tremendous win streak, and all of a sudden, things could just like in a step of the finger, could turn around, and it could happen by the trade deadline. It could really have, right? So let's compare some stats here back in 2018 and 2019 on what happened on that first half, right? The Boston Red Sox 64 wins in 2019, and they went ahead and finished in first place, right? Then in 2019, same old with the New York Yankees in the league. Look what they have done on the halfway mark, and then let's focus in on what happened in the postseason, okay? So anything could happen, and what we're seeing right now is if you're in the top 2 position that you're in right now, you're more than likely going to make it to the playoffs. But do the American League East have enough personnel tough enough to win the World Series this year? That is the big question, right? But as biased that I am, the Red Sox will double up in their wins, okay? And they will win over 100 games and make it all the way to the World Series. And us Red Sox nations, we're going to celebrate glory because, look, we have no other than the best manager in baseball managing for the second year of 3 years, and that is no other than Alex Cora, right? Pretty amazing there. Okay. But let's look at on with the rest of the standings there. We have the Chicago White Sox on top of the Indians, 8-game lead. Don't doubt the Cleveland Indians. Cleveland Indians are always, or should I say mostly, throughout the season, a second half team. And in the West, we have the Houston Astros ahead of the Oakland A's. The Mariners, the Angels, and Rangers are behind. Okay. So it does look like the Houston Astros could run away with this division. And let's see if the Oakland A's could make it a competition in the second half. And then nationally, we got the New York Mets in first place with the Phillies, Braves, Nationals, and Marlins. Look, Mets, I got a feeling the Mets are turning things around in that in their season, right? Surprisingly, they're in first place. No one ever had them in first place, but it's pretty awesome. Many expected the Washington Nationals will repeat again because of the roster that they have. In the Central, the Milwaukee Brewers finally got it going on. A little turbulence in that division, but it looks like Milwaukee Brewers are there to stay. But don't dismiss the St. Louis Cardinals. The St. Louis Cardinals are built to be contenders every season. And as far as the West, the San Francisco Giants, the LA Dodgers, and the Padres, those 3 teams, they're spectacular, right? And I expect that these 3 teams will grind it out all the way till the last week of October. The first week of October to see who will actually win the National League West. I do predict that as of right now, yes, it looks like that. It will be 2 teams representing in the West, and I think it will remain the same there. But let's focus on the Boston Red Sox here. The Red Sox leaders, we got Alexander Bogaerts leading the team with a .321 average. Rafael Devers with 22 home runs and 72 RBIs, and an on-base percentage and total hits belong to Alexander Bogaerts. Those stars that you see on there, all right, are best season that they ever have. Okay, they are expected to break their own career records in the season, and they continue to do so. Just as Hunter Renfroe, who's batting at .263, that is the best he has done in his career with the Boston Red Sox. Also, Hunter Renfroe is best already at 46 runs batting in the first half. Could he make it to 90? Can he reach 100? That'd be pretty amazing. Dahlbeck and Verdugo with 36 RBIs already. Can Dahlbeck improve in his batting? Can he raise his average and be the guy that we expected him to be, that power hitter? Okay. And again, the on-base percentage is off the roof between Hunter Renfroe, Alex Verdugo. They're having their best seasons. As far as Martinez and Devers is concerned, they're playing their regular season just like any other season. All right. They're elite at their position, and they're going to continue doing their best. They just hope that everyone will stay healthy. And the pitching standpoint, Nathan Eovaldi is leading the Red Sox with 9 wins and ERA with a 3.66. And the strikeouts belong to Pivetta of 113. And Matt Barnes he's just hitting records between him and Adam Ottavino with the holds. It's just a record-breaking season for them, and especially Matt Barnes getting a 2-year extension. He definitely deserves it. And now the lookout for the Boston Red Sox in the remaining month of July. We start off with a 4-game series with the New York Yankees, 7:08 Eastern time. That is the only game for Thursday. That's right. July 15 is the only game, the Red Sox and the Yankees. Everyone else starts playing on a Friday. But it is the most important game of all these series, really, for the Red Sox to see if they're going to be contenders in the AL East. As you can look ahead, after the Yankees, they got a 3-game series with the Blue Jays, and then they go back home to Fenway Park to battle with another 4-game series with the Yankees, a 4-game series with the Blue Jays, and then they hit the road at the end, the last couple of days against the Tampa Bay Rays. So all the games are all against AL East opponents. And that's why it's very important. This could drive the Red Sox to either gain momentum or lose momentum. And it's very important, especially July 30th is the trade deadline at 4:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to see exactly where the Red Sox stand. Can they make an important trade? Let's put it that way. But I just got a gut feeling that the Red Sox is going to remain with the roster that they have. No matter how much hype, no matter how much we say about this, I think they will. All right. I think that they're going to stick with their plan. I don't think they want to spend a lot of money. And, I really want another power hitter. I would love to have another a reliable leadoff hitter. Okay. But can we rely on Kike Hernandez? Is he back? Is it Christian Arroyo? Can he do it? Right? Everybody else is pretty much staying put in their lineup. We'll see. But here's the probable pitchers for the Red Sox. Again, we have Erod, who's going to start off on Thursday, Martin Perez, Nathan Eovaldi, and Nick Pivetta. Those 4 pitchers are very important for them to have a great start leading into the series, especially for Erod. He's been shaky. He's been showing improvement, but he has been shaken in the first innings. Can he, let's just put it this way, can he minimize his pitches and put a donut onto his opponent, right? We don't want a first inning where the other team is already leading off 2-3-0. We don't want that, right? That puts just a lot of pressure, okay? We don't need to be catching up, and we definitely need to ease the bullpen. So that's right between Erod and Martin Perez. Very important. And as far as Eovaldi is concerned, the all-star, man, I have nothing but trust with that guy. And Pivetta, and moving on to the MLB draft, the Boston Red Sox selected, they were number 4, and this is the guy right here, Marcelo Mayer, shortstop from East Lake High School. Awesome individual. He had a wonderful interview with the MLB deal for the Boston Red Sox, even though they had their mind made up for the catching position, which the Pittsburgh Pirates went ahead and acquired. But this is the guy that surprisingly is best fit for the Red Sox if he stays disciplined and if he stays healthy and remains fit, right? Because like all the other prospects, they got to start from the bottom, work their way to the top, right? Can this guy be the one? Now, he's been compared to Robinson Cano, to Brandon Crawford. Those are some 2 known names, right, in MLB. Okay, he does bat left and throws right. He is 6'3", 188 pounds. I think by the time he bulks up, ready to go, he'll probably be within the 200 range. But they say he got potential, man, and I believe it. I really do. And comparing between him and Alexander Bogaerts, look, by the time he hits to the majors, I'm predicting year 2025. That gives him a couple of years to be left seat, right seat ride with Alexander Bogaerts. Bogaerts, a 3-time All-Star, 2-time World Series champion. He's a 3-time Silver Slugger. You want that guy to be his mentor. Absolutely. Yes. Mayer could maybe go to second base or maybe first base or third. It doesn't matter. Being an infielder, I think he'll be proficient at whatever he does, and it could be a valuable asset for the Red Sox in the future. And if there's anything, by the time Alexander Bogaerts finishes his contract, it'll be already year 2027. That'll be a perfect time for him to transition and become the starter for the Boston Red Sox. And look, his slotted bonus is $6 million. That's pretty awesome for him to start off in the minor leagues, right? Get that contract and then moving on up, right? And if you're with Shane Bloom, who doesn't really like to spend a lot of money on players, 2027 might be the last year for Bogaerts. So I think this is a great pick for the Red Sox. It's a steal, and he is the number 1 prospect in MLB.com. So let's see if that will pay out. And speaking about prospects, man, look, I had the pleasure to watch Vladimir Guerrero Jr. playing in AA farm system with the Blue Jays. Him traveling to Hartford, Connecticut to take on the AA team of the Rockies. This guy got power, and he is showing why he is the man that's fast-tracking all the way to the pros. Okay, Vladimir Guerrero, not only him, but Shohei Ohtani and Fernando Tatis. Okay, those 3 are the face of MLB. And as you look at the stats here, the salary cap. Look, Mike Trout is making $37 million a year. Jacob deGrom, 36. Garrett Cole, 36. I mean, Garrett Cole is also questionable about his pitching, right? I mean, he needs the sticky stuff in order to make that money. You got Arenado, Greinke. You got all these guys that's supposed to be the face of MLB making so much money. You hardly even hear these guys. Yes, you hear Manny Machado. I mean, he's having an awesome season with the Padres. Has anyone heard of David Price? Nah. But we hear Tatis Jr. We hear Ohtani, right? And thankfully enough for Stephen A. Smith to say what he had to say. He just exploited Ohtani to even a bigger measure, something that the MLB itself can't do. Okay, now people are knowing who Shanghai Ohtani is. This is the guy that could hit and he could pitch. And that's something that MLB hasn't seen ever. A dual player like him who is able to make it happen. Now, is he contention of MVP? Yes. And so is Guerrero. You know, those two will be the most talked about towards the end of the season to see who's going to be the MVP. If you missed my show and everything else, by all means, go ahead and tune into Apple, Google, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast platform, whatever you listen to. Please also subscribe to our YouTube channel. And again, this is just a reference of what's going on in baseball for the Red Sox with the outlook. And as always, after every ending series, we'll do a recap and an outlook of the next opponent. But this is the year for the Boston Red Sox. Honestly, I am a firm believer that this is the Red Sox year. It really is. You know, for the downfall we had last year, this is our first full season from the pandemic. And for what Alex Cora is doing, whatever combinations he is doing, it's working. And there's a lot of trust that he's putting on these players, and they all love him. But can trust go further down the road by the trade deadline? Can it go all the way to the postseason in October? There's some suspects in that Red Sox roster that I'm hoping that there's some changes hopefully it is soon. But that's all I got right now. Leave your comments. How do you feel what's going to happen with the Red Sox in the second half? Will there be contenders or pretenders? That is the question. And we're definitely going to find out, especially tomorrow when they open up the second half, first game with the New York Yankees. On behalf of Clovercrest Media, I'm Ovi Muniz. Thank you for watching. Take care, everyone. Have a great summer.
Thank you so much for listening to Ovi's Backstop Podcast, part of the CMG Sports Podcast Network. For more, visit hhwshow.com.